there. Welcome to the teachings. This is Joshua Hayward, Breath of Life School in Yellow Springs, Ohio. And once again, welcome to what is the initial video in the new series called The Teachings. It's actually Teachings from Christ Consciousness. And in this series, we'll be exploring the very nature of this powerful spiritual reality of Christ consciousness that is available to all of us, and in fact is a part of all of us. And in this series, we'll be using inquiry as a mode of search. We'll be inquiring with questions and looking deep into those questions. Some of them will be a little bit more practical, and some of them will be a little bit more philosophical, but they're all going to bring us to this, to a greater awareness of the times, the changing times, the epochal changing times, the era shifting, the eon shifting in our lives, humanity at this point. What a tremendous time we're in. And so we'll be exploring the possibilities of Christ consciousness and how that can transform our lives as we seek to navigate this transitional period of moving into something that's very divergent, very different in the way life feels, different things happening, different types of circumstances, many different new awarenesses and new ideas about how to move structurally as things change. So we're going to ask some questions, and there'll also be like a glossary that will go along with this too. That I'm going to call it the life glossary, and there'll be like little phrases and words that come up during this series, or maybe just come up in life that needs some kind of relevant explanation. Different ways of thinking about things that might be really helpful in these times. So let's move into the actual question proper. The initial question: will I find happiness? Now, Spirit told me this would be a really good place to start, because right now, happiness and maybe fulfillment, a sense of abundance and flow and joy. Just feeling those things in your body as you're listening. It's a good idea to get ready for what we're about to say. New times, new avenues for those energies, those concepts, those ways of being and feeling to merge and mix in us. Because it's a different approach to life that we're looking at right now. And we can all agree that 2020 was a year that changed everything. We're now firmly moving in, I guess it's March of 2021, beginning to respond to the changing times. And we're beginning to create this new era that's starting to happen. So, will I find happiness? So as I begin to answer this question, feel its relevance. Ask your soul, ask your heart to open up and to reveal this to you. And I'm going to elucidate the nature of happiness, or at least how the Spirit has given it to me to give to you. Okay, so far, you've been trained to look outside of yourself. You're looking to your circumstances. You're looking to the events in your life and the people in your life. And you've received all kinds of programming which began early, right after you were born. Definitions were sort of uploaded to you. Your early observations showed you that this was making you happy and maybe that wasn't. And so you've looked at the world and you've decided, also you've noticed how many things that you run into in life that block your happiness. Feel that in your body for a second. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel too good. So what we do and what you've done, what I've done, is I've put obstacles and roadblocks to my happiness. Happiness is a state of being. I'm not sure it's something that is achieved through following legalistic terms or the law or those definitions that people say. I don't think that byproduct is necessarily a happiness of something that we have achieved. We've produced this, and wow, I really feel happy. If you've ever noticed that once you do achieve something, you feel that happiness that is fleeting. Artists often feel that once they're done with a project. There's this void. And so what's next? And so you've been looking outside yourself. You've been told to look outside yourself for your happiness. But the world out here, everything, all circumstances are fleeting and ephemeral. It's all changing. It's been said that you can't step in the same river twice. And think about that. And you've been attached to those things that you expect to make you happy. And you hold on to those things because you've seen that they make you happy, and yet they have been taken away from you. Oh yeah, and you know that. Hurts too. Because we experience loss. And when we're attached and we have expectations, we experience loss, and then we begin to experience grief. And it permeates within us, and it is this grief body that kind of begins to fill us early on with all the losses and the emotions that we feel around those losses. So you've attached to things and you've lost them. And you feel some trauma as well with those losses and grief and sadness and suffering. You just wanted happiness. You knew it felt good from when you were a child. You had some connections with happiness. Yes. But then you lost them, and then other things came back. And then so you find yourself eventually, from coming back, going away again, that am I going to be happy? Will I find happiness? Well, it really is up to you. But you got to think smart in a way. In fact, you got to start maybe almost not thinking. They use the word mindfulness, and I will use the word mindfulness in this series. But when I say mindfulness, it's more of allowing the mind not to really mess with you. It's almost being mindful to let that mind go and to come into presence. And in fact, when you come into presence with your soul and with the spirit of all things, when you devoid yourself of all of the claptrap, the happiness is there. And so, I would like to say, yes, it's up to you, but you need to move into yourself. As long as you are looking outside yourself for that happiness, it will come and it will go. And mostly, if you have expectations and attachments to it and the way it might come to you and definitions about it will come this way but not that way, you will not experience happiness in any continual, satisfying type of way. So, the thing to do is move within. And move within yourself and begin to be grateful to have this body and to have this soul and to have this life. And to be a part of all things. You know, you feel grief, you feel victimized, and we all do. You feel unhappy. Probably more than you feel happy. I feel sadness even as I'm speaking to you. Because I feel that. I feel that sadness of separation from our happiness. But we all can move into it. You can move into it. And you might be asking, well, how do I move into myself? And, well, meditation is probably the best way. And you'll be seeing, in fact, on my channel, there are some meditation videos already. We'll get more into that as time passes, and I'll talk more about that. But move more into yourself through gratitude and acceptance of who you are, and begin to look at your victimization and say, that does not define me. And you look inside yourself and you find Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is within you. It's in your heart. It's what connects you with source energy, with God. Jesus of Nazareth came to this earth plane to tell us and to put us in connection with Christ consciousness. It's a healing type of spirit. It's a salvation type of energy that exists for all of us. In our heart, deep, deep, deep way within us, in a non-physical, non-material form, we have a connection to the infinite. We are connected. In fact, we are from Source and we are Source. We've forgotten it. This is why we're not in happiness. This is why we don't live there. We feel disconnected from that. You do too. That's why you're taking in the content of this video right now. That's why you've dialed it up. Okay? But you've got the ability to go right in and feel that Christ consciousness within your heart right now. And you've got to spend time with it, though. You can't just spend 3 seconds. Oh, you might be able to. That'd be pretty cool. That might even be a record. But we can learn to find that happiness in 3 seconds or less. It has to do with practice. It has to do with relaxing and going inside and accepting the victimhood and releasing it and calling on that happiness from source energy without expectation, without attachment to the way it needs to look or to the way your life needs to look. You are happiness. You are love. And so it's remembering that and becoming that, you see. All right, now, how does that feel in your body? It's pretty good, huh? And I'll ask you right in this moment, feeling good, taking a couple of cleansing breaths, letting those good feelings permeate your body. Yes. And your consciousness, your psyche. Just feeling it well up. It's there. See? And with your gratitude, and now all the thoughts aren't swirling around so much, and you're becoming quiet, you're entering presence. This is spiritual presence. It's the calmness of that connection with source energy. You are one with it. Breathe it in, let it permeate through you. Keep your heart open. When you close your heart down to life, life closes to you. When you open your heart up, there might be pain there, it might be raw, but you break through that and you're connected with life. And then happiness. As you learn, becomes a way of life. Thanks for joining me today, and be seeing some more videos coming down right up on the channel, getting loaded up really soon. And hope you enjoy this series. If you really are enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. That's kind of what we're supposed to say, to generate some interest. And would appreciate any comments if you would like, or any questions too. You will see, in fact, during the intro and following this, you will see contact information, Breath of Life School, Yellow Springs, Ohio. I am Joshua Hayward.